What are some of the more common misconceptions that clients come to you and talk about that you're educating them with?
Oh, there's quite a few. One that's recently come up was, and this comes up fairly often, maybe once a month or every other month. The idea, and I don't usually talk about it very much because we put notes on this in our summary review letter, right, and in our videos. But this was, I guess, a pre-client call, and it is where the franchisee believes that just having an entity, having an LLC or a corporation, protects them from personal liability, even though they've signed the personal guarantee, right? So that's a misconception that if you're not familiar with contracts and the way things kind of work in the legal world, it's easy to make because you hear online, you hear on TV, just form an entity and it protects you from liability, right? It does, but not when you sign an agreement that gives them the runaround, right? So
Mhm.
that's one of them. Definitely the sales pressures when I hear all the time. It's like, oh, we got to sign in 14 days, which is totally, that's not correct, right? The 14 day is a waiting period. It's not, that's the soonest you could sign it. It's not the day that you have to sign. Or they give them some arbitrary date, right? And it's like, look, I get they're salespeople, it's fine, but we can, we'll get our work done the right way. We're not going to rush through it. That's a big one. Trying to think, what are some others that pop up often? Um, I guess some of the ones that are maybe folks who haven't done a lot of their homework or maybe aren't using a consultant or an advisor like yourself is that they put prospective franchisees think that they can exit the agreement at any time, or if it doesn't work out, or they think that the franchisor is obligated to give them certain services that they're being sold and promised. That's actually kind of a fairly common comment in our reviews. uh, the franchisor may tell you that they're going to run the call center, they're going to give you leads, they're going to do some marketing of this and that, but very often none of that is actually in the franchise agreement. They're not obligated to do it. They're doing it because they know it will make money and it is successful. But at any moment, they can flip that switch and turn it off. And you don't have recourse as a franchisee because that's not a legal obligation that the franchisor has to you. So those are some of the more common ones. But yeah, I mean, we touch on a lot of that, a lot of little stuff too. Like the operations manual can change, right? Whatever you're buying into now, it's going to evolve 100%. And you may not like where it's going to evolve, but you still got to evolve, right? You still got to adapt. Um, it's a big one. I mean, back in the day, McDonald's didn't do breakfast. And there was a lot of hesitation and resistance when they added breakfast. What, I guess 80s or 90s or something? Way back in the day. It was a while back. Because when you think about it from franchisee perspective, now I have to pay a whole new shift. And does anybody even know to come get breakfast at McDonald's at the time? No. But now that's a huge revenue driver for franchisees, right? It's a whole new revenue line. So things like that. And that causes friction between franchisees and franchisors. When it works well, that friction dies. If it doesn't work well, that friction can simmer and fester and cause problems in the future. But little things like that are the kind of misconceptions and the obligations and responsibilities that we point out and educate our clients on.